Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you guys are tuning into this. I am Mr. Hruz. For those of you who do not recognize me, I'm going to be bringing you our first fitness activity for our fitness unit coming up. We have finished up our soccer unit last week and we're moving on to some fitness lessons. Today we're going to be focusing on flexibility and let's get right into it. Oops. All right, what we're gonna need a yoga mat or a beach towel, anything to lay on. Stand over so you don't get dirty. A dumbbell, preferably, but if you don't have a dumbbell, anything you can easily hold with one hand, like a water bottle, and try to make it a little heavy though. And grab a speaker or radio if you have one, or anything to play music with. You'll see later on, I was going to play some music for you, but due to copyright issues, I will not be able to share someone else's music through this video. So just something to play some music when we get there. And then a cell phone or iPod, anything with a camera really works that you'll be able to post on Flipgrid. And as usual, we'll have some loose fitting clothes and athletic shoes. All right, starting off today, we have our instant activity. It's going to have a cardiovascular endurance and flexibility focus. I will pause the video a few times in the middle to correct some mistakes I made when I was describing the activity originally, but let's get into it. Hello students, for our instant activity today, we're going to be combining some flexibility exercises as well as cardiovascular endurance exercises. We're going to do a simple dynamic warm-up, and this is what it's going to look like. So you're just going to find a distance, straight line, doesn't matter how far, however far you want it, about 15 yards though if you want the gauge. So we're going to do a variety of dynamic locomotor movements, and then when we get to the other end, we're going to do some yoga poses that we're going to be working on throughout the class. So I'm just going to show you all the movements and you're going to do it yourself. The first one, we're going to start with butt kickers. Bring our heels up to our butts. To the other end, we're going to do our first yoga pose, which is going to be the chair pose. So you're going to put your feet shoulder width apart, bend down with your arms up. You're going to hold this for about 30 seconds and go the other way. Now we're going to do high knees. Do this to the other end, moving to this end. We're going to do our second yoga pose, which is going to be the tree pose. You bring your palms together right in front of your chest, one leg up on the inside of your knee, and hold it for 30 seconds. Other way, the next locomotor movement we're going to do is lunges. We're going to step out, bring our knee just close to the ground without touching it, making sure our front knee does not go over our toe. Come back up, and again, and up. This one we're going to be doing, it's called the Warrior One pose. We're going to put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, bring our arms up, above our heads, and hold. Next way, next direction, we're going to be doing some skips, some high skips. So step, skip, step, skip. This one we're going to be doing Warrior 3 pose. Similar to Warrior 1, you're going to have our feet front and back, but instead we're going to have our arms to the sides. So just to correct myself, this is actually called the Warrior 2 pose, and instead of where I have my hands side to side, our hands are going to go front to back. And you'll see that later on. Correct that as well. Hold that. And our next two, we're going to be opening the gate. So we're going to go to the left, bring one leg up, out, other way, up, open, other way, up, open. When we get here, we're going to be completing our last yoga pose, which is the mountain pose. Just a simple, feet spread apart, hands at our side, and push out. And again, just to correct myself, I fixed it in the GIFs later on. You're going to put your feet shoulder width apart, but instead you're going to have your palms facing forwards, as where in here I have mine facing out. So just make sure you make that correction. With your legs. So you should feel some tension through your quads and hamstrings. And that's all we're doing for the instant activity today, guys. Like I said, go a little further for my distance. I just had to condense on my back deck, but if you can find some more space, go a little bit further and have fun. Thanks.
All right.
Hello, students, for our instant activity today.
Okay, so I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to complete that activity. Remember, these are the locomotor movements, and these are the corresponding yoga poses along with it. And ready, go. One thing you can be mindful of while you're completing this activity is recognizing the difference between a dynamic and a static stretch or movement. The locomotor movements I have up here, from butt kickers to open the gate, those are all dynamic movements because you're moving while you're getting a stretch in. Whereas the yoga poses from the mountain pose to the warrior two pose are all going to be static movements, static stretches, because you're staying still while you're completing them. Awesome job, everybody. 1 minute down. Keep it up. Remember to be holding each of those poses for about 30 seconds. You can reference the clock to make sure you're holding the pose for as long as you should be. Really get a good stretch in there. Get ready for our day. Great work. 2 minutes in, only 3 minutes left. Keep it up, guys. By now we're halfway done. If you've been holding these poses for 30 seconds each, you should be about wrapped up. So feel free to go back through the list again and start from the beginning with butt kickers and the mountain pose. If there are any other stretches too that you prefer, you like to get in before an activity, you can also complete those movements as well, but still choose out of those yoga poses to complete at the end of each line. Awesome job, everyone. Make sure we're holding those poses as long as we can. If we want to make the lines a little longer for this last minute, you can do that as well. Get in a few more locomotor movements for cardiovascular endurance during this activity. Should be getting our blood pumping, our heart rates up, might be breathing a little heavy by now. Trying to get some good exercise in before our activity, start off our day. Last 30 seconds, make it count, everyone. Really hold this last pose. Ten seconds, keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Great work. All right, on to the next slide. Okay, so what are we learning today? Today we're going to complete a variety of fitness activities with an overall focus on flexibility, though there will still be aspects of cardiovascular and muscular endurance throughout. Students will see a difference between dynamic and static movements as stretches. I alluded to this in the instant activity with the difference between dynamic and static, and we'll see some of our health-related fitness components throughout the day. Starting off with our health-related fitness activity, I'll be showing you some muscular endurance exercises. All right, and we have reached our health-related fitness activity. For this activity, the focus will be on muscular strength and endurance, since as you have probably noticed from the first activity, that today will be a flexibility focus with some aspects of cardiovascular endurance as well. So to get our muscular endurance in today, we're going to be doing 4 activities, 4 exercises. We're going to be doing the single arm row, some push-ups, some curl-ups, and some squats. I'm going to show you all how to do these activities real quick. And in the next sections, you'll see the GIFs for each activity as well with a timer. So our first activity is the single arm row. I'm using a dumbbell. If you don't have dumbbells, you can just use a water bottle, maybe just anything heavy that you can hold on to with one hand. So for this activity, you're going to bend over 90 degrees at the hip. You're going to pull your dumbbell up. You're going to extend your arm out and bring it back in and down. And keep doing that a few times, maybe let's say 3 to 5 reps. And that is the single arm row. So as a reminder, our squats, we're gonna have our arms out, feet shoulder width apart. We come down 90 degrees and up, down 90 degrees and up. If that's easy for you guys and you want to add some weight to it, you can grab that dumbbell or whatever you were using, hold it right underneath your chin and go down and up with some extra weight. And then we have the curl up. So we're going to get on our back, have our feet flat on the ground, knees bent, palms on the ground as well. We're going to up with our hands dragging along the floor. Notice that I'm not pushing up with my elbows when I do it, or lifting my feet when I do it, keeping everything contacted with the floor, and I'm curling up. And what I'm also not doing, I'm not completing a sit-up. So I'm not going all the way here. I stop right around here, about halfway between my knees and the floor. The last activity is push-ups. So push-ups, as we all know, we're going to have our arms just past shoulder width apart, feet up, get in the upper plank position. And we're going to go down to where our arms or our elbows are 90 degrees and push up. So down to 90 and up. We're going to do this 5 to 10 times as well. If that's difficult, we can do a half push-up where we have our knees on the ground and we're doing it from here. Same thing, still going to 90 degrees, just using our knees to contact the ground rather than our feet. And that's the health-related fitness activity for this week. And enjoy. Good luck. All right, and we have reached our health-related. All right, and since we have a variety of exercises. Instead of doing 5 minutes, I've split it up into doing 1 minute of each. So we're going to start out with our single arm row. So go ahead, if you need to, pause the video, grab your dumbbell, grab a water bottle, maybe fill up the water bottle with something other than water to make it a little heavier. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Oops. Or are we? There we go. All right. Clock starts now. Single arm row. We're going to do this 3 to 5 times. You can do it in 2 to 3 sets as well. So 3 to 5 reps, 2 to 3 sets. So we'll be doing this for the whole minute. If you're struggling with the straightening out, as I show in the GIF right there, you can just pull it up and then bring it right back down. You don't have to extend your arm backwards with it. We're almost there. Last 12 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Great work, students. On to the next part. We're going to be doing push-ups. Go ahead and put away that dumbbell, and we're moving on to push-ups. And go. These push-ups are a little bit different than some normal push-ups that you might be used to. Our arms are going to be a little wider out. That way we can reach that 90 degrees. So if it was too close, we might not reach that 90 degrees. Great work, halfway done. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And done. Awesome job with those push-ups, everyone. Next up is the squats. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to challenge yourself, if you know you're good at squats, you can go ahead and grab that dumbbell again, put it right underneath your chin, and drop down with it there. Add a little bit more weight. And begin. And just a note for any of these activities, if you would like to challenge yourself a little bit more and do a few more reps or an extra set, you can just rewind the video to where you see the clock begin, and you can add another minute for yourselves to practice this. Halfway there. Make sure we're getting back all the way down to 90 degrees, and then we're pressing against the floor to stand back up. 3, 2, 1, and done. And onto the final muscular endurance exercise is the curl ups. So we should all be familiar with curl ups. We're gonna lie down on our back, bend the knees, feet flat on the floor, and curl up about halfway in between your knees and the ground. And go. you can see in the GIF, I'm just dragging my hands right across the floor. I'm not pressing up with my elbow to get a little leverage. My arms are straight. And I'm just sliding my fingertips to about where my heels are, or a little further if you can. "15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Awesome job with those muscular endurance exercises, everyone. We should feel a little, our muscles definitely got some work in that. And now we're going to bring the focus back to flexibility with our first activity.
Hello students, for our first activity, we're going to be doing a fun game called Chair, Tree, Warrior. That's using 3 of our yoga poses that we'll be working on throughout the lesson in a fun variation of rock, paper, scissors. So instead of rock, paper, scissors, it's Chair, Tree, Warrior. As a quick reminder, the chair pose looks like this, bend down with your arms up. The tree pose looks like this, one leg on the inside of the other knee, hands together in front. And the warrior pose looks like this, with 1 foot back, 1 foot front, as well as your arms in the back and the front. So for this activity, my dad's going to be helping me out for this activity. We're going to put a few rounds together, so just like you can with your partner. So for starters, instead of saying rock, paper, scissors, we're going to say chair, tree, and warrior. Ready, Dad? Chair, tree, warrior. All right, so chair beats tree. He wins the first round. Ready? Chair, tree, warrior. He wins that round again. Tree beats warrior. Let's see if I can get this one. Ready? Tree, chair, warrior. Got him. The tree falls on the warrior, and I won that round. I hope you guys have fun with this activity, and good luck. Hello, students. For our first activity,
Okay, so I'm gonna split it up into 3 2-minute increments. So the whole activity will take 6 minutes, but I'm just splitting it up so you can see the cues for the activity as well as the GIF for each pose. But don't stop when you hear the first 2 alarms. If you're having some trouble with the tree pose, take a look at the screen. You can see the cues on the right and the GIF on the left demonstrating how to properly perform it. If you have more people around you as well, you can turn it into a small little tournament as well. Go one partner against another, have 2 partners. If you have 4 people, the winners can go ahead against each other and have a little fun with it. Just as a reminder, the order of which poses beat which. The tree pose will be the warrior pose will be the chair pose, and the chair pose will be the tree pose. All right, keep playing this activity, playing this game with your friend, your partner, your parent. This one is just demonstrating the cues and the GIF for the chair pose. If you need a refresher, we're going to see this pose as well as the other ones consistently throughout the lesson. This pose is very similar to a squat. You're not going to go all the way down. As you can see in my GIF, I'm not going quite to 90 degrees. But I am bringing my rear end down a bit, and I will have my arms up together, diagonal in front of me. We are halfway through the activity at this point. We have 3 more minutes. Have some fun with it, everyone. Make sure we're referencing these cues when we're practicing as well. Last 30 seconds to remember the chair pose. If you have some trouble later on, you can refer back, rewind the video a bit, and you can see this slide. All right, and the last 2 minutes is on the clock. This is the Warrior 2 pose. As you can see here, I corrected my form from the instant activity where originally I had my arms to the side, but we should be having our arms in the front and in the back, just along with our feet that go front and back. Last 90 seconds, try to beat your friends sometimes. Have fun with this game. As you can see also in my GIF I made, my back foot is a little open. That's okay, that's for support. You don't want your feet perfectly in line for this activity. They should be a little open stance in the back. One other thing to look for, you can see my front arm, I have my palm down and it's kind of cut off, but you can see as I go back that my back palm is facing up. Last 30 seconds, everyone, keep it up. Try to fit in a few more games. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job with that game, everyone. We're going to move on to activity 2 now. And let's hear the explanation.
All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the Tree Chair Warrior game. For activity 2, we're going to be utilizing those same poses as well as introducing a few other ones in an activity called mirror yoga. So again, my dad's helping me out. And for this activity, we'll be facing each other and completing the variety of yoga poses mirroring each other. So that means if I do the tree pose and I put up my left leg, he does the tree pose, but he puts up his right leg, and so on. So we're just going to show you a variety of the poses, and we're just going to mirror each other, and you all will do the same with your partner. All right, so we're going to do the chair pose next. So we'll both go down. This one, it's the same pose for both of us because none of us are on either side. Then I'm going to do the warrior pose. I'm going to put my right arm out front and he has his left arm out front, again, mirroring. And so on and so forth with all the other poses. Take the next 5 minutes to do this activity and have fun. And one more thing, with your partner, we're going to take turns with who gets to choose the activity. So one time I can choose, one time my dad would choose, and the same for you. You would choose one round and your partner would choose the other, or I choose 5 in a row, they choose 5 in a row, and so on. Have fun, guys. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed.
All right, and here we go. Just like last activity, we're gonna have 6 minutes total, but we're breaking it up into 2-minute increments so you can see the cues and the GIFs. So this is a variation of the Warrior 2 pose that we were using in Tree Chair Warrior. The only difference, the feet stance are the same with the open foot in the back, the front foot forward, but instead of putting our arms front to back, we're bringing them above our head. Another good thing about these activities is that you can do them all inside. For me, where I am right now, it's raining out, so I wouldn't want to go outside and do this. But I can do all of this, as you can see by my videos, right in your house, right inside, find an open space, not worried about breaking anything like in the soccer unit. This is just you and your self space. Awesome job, students. All right, and just like before, don't stop when this clock goes off. We still got 4 more minutes of this activity. We're just gonna see a different poses cues next. Next, it's the mountain pose. Like I mentioned in the instant activity, to correct myself, you can see in my GIF, my palms are facing forward this time. My elbows are slightly inward. You're gonna have relaxed shoulders as well. As far as the mirroring goes, if you or your partner were to choose to do the mountain pose, this pose would be the exact same for both of you, because neither one would go either to the right or to the left side. We're halfway there. Even though I'm just showing the cues and the GIFs for the Warrior 1, the mountain pose, and next the side plank, you can still use the Tree, Chair, and Warrior 2 pose that we used from earlier. All right, and the last 2 minutes starts now. This one is a bit of a more difficult pose because it's going to use a lot of core strength as well as some upper body strength while with your one hand on the ground, one arm on the ground. But this is just a side plank. You can see I originally bring my arm up. Once I get in position, I have my support, then the arms should be straight out, diagonal to each other. You can do this on both sides as well. So here I'm balancing on my left arm. I could also go on the other side and balance on my right arm with my left arm in the air. Last minute. Just like I mentioned earlier, if you want a little bit more practice with these poses, don't hesitate to rewind the video, go back, get a little bit more practice in before we move on to activity 3. Activity 3 is a fun one. Last 30 seconds, make sure we're really mirroring our partners. So for this would be an example where you would need to mirror. So I would be balancing on my left arm and my left foot, where my partner would be balancing on their right arm and their right foot. So it's just like a mirror. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job, everyone. On to activity 3. All right, everyone, great job with that last activity. We're gonna wrap things up today with activity 3. We're going to create a routine using these yoga poses. So as you can hear, we have our calming yoga music in the background. We're gonna piece together a bunch of poses and create a quick routine using all of them, or whichever ones you would like. Try to make the routine about 2 to 5 minutes, and we're gonna post these on Flipgrid at the end of class, or you can film them during class. So I'll just give you a quick snippet of mine. Have the music playing, we're gonna bring it together. Just like that, and we'll take a video of ourselves completing it, submit it, and we'll take a look at each other's. I hope you enjoy and get creative. Alrighty. All right, everyone, great job with that. Just like I mentioned at the end, we do want to get really creative with these routines. I mentioned I'm going to go ahead and start the clock because this one's a little longer. Giving you all 10 minutes so you have time to think of the routine and practice it as we get ready for the Flipgrid assessment after class. But yeah, get creative with these poses. You combine any combination of these 6 poses. You can repeat. So if you really enjoy, say, the side plank, you could utilize that multiple times throughout your routine. Like I mentioned, we're going to shoot for 2 to 5 minutes. For the Flipgrid, I'll explain on the next slide, I believe it is. how to post it, and I've allowed 5 minutes maximum for the videos, but don't feel obligated to take all 5 minutes. That's just for whatever you need. And one other thing, still have 9 minutes left for this one. If you figure out your routine at 3 minutes in, 4 minutes in, 7 minutes in, whenever you're ready, you can just speed up the video till the end of the timer, and then you'll see the information about the assessments. And as far as playing some music while you're doing this activity, definitely feel free. I actually recommend playing some nice calming instrumental music while you come up with this routine. I don't know if any of you are Spotify or Apple Music users, but I know Spotify anyways. You can just search up yoga music and it comes up with a bunch of options right there. That'll be a nice touch to your routine videos that we can share with the class. Get to know each other a bit more. We are almost a quarter of the way through this activity. Try to take, if you would like, take the first 5 minutes to prepare your routine and the second 5 minutes to practice. If you see some parallels between poses, you might want to blend those together, like the warrior 1 and 2 pose, bringing your hands from front to back above your head, or vice versa, from above to the front. A nice smooth transition like that. That might look cool. Similarly with the chair pose and the mountain pose, your feet are already at your side. Your hands are at your side for the mountain. So if you want to bring just your hands straight up right into the chair pose and then squat down a bit, it's a nice one. That would look pretty cool. And contrastly to what I said earlier with speeding it up, if you really want to make your routine really fun, really creative, you can rewind the video, add some more practice time, and make your routine look really good. You also have freedom with this activity to make these poses as long as you want, as short as you want. For the video, for the explanation, I made my poses somewhat short just to speed it up so you guys could understand the idea. But if you want to have hold your poses for an extended period of time, that works as well. All right, we are halfway through. If you would like to switch over to practicing your routine, now would be the time. If you really want to go above and beyond, I have listed these 6 poses that we've worked on throughout the class. But if you do yoga, if you go to yoga classes and you're familiar with either some more advanced ones or just other basic ones in general, you can implement that in your routine as well. I'd love to see all of your routines up on Flipgrid, and we can watch each other's, watch our classmates. I'll post one as well. So you can watch mine, make fun of Mr. Hruz a bit with his yoga routine. But yeah, you can implement any yoga poses you're familiar with. We are now 3/4 of the way through this activity. Just another reminder, you can speed it up, rewind it till however much time you guys need on this. Use it all. So what's nice about the timers is you can see one in the video when you're dragging the bar across the bottom. If you want some extra time, or if you're a bit ahead. This activity is, these poses are static stretches, but the implementation of the routine and the transitions between the two, you might go from the tree pose to the warrior pose to the warrior one pose. That adds some dynamic aspects as well. You might see that a little bit in one of the assessments after class. We are in the home stretch with our last minute. Polish up those routines a bit before we record them and post them on Flipgrid. "30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Awesome job today, everyone. Gonna bring it to the next slide and go a little review of our lesson today. As you can see, there are 2 QR codes. On the left, we have a Google Forms pre-assessment. On the right, we have a Flipgrid yoga routines. The one on the right is what I've been mentioning throughout about recording ourselves. We can record our routines and share them with our classmates. The one on the left, since we have started a new unit, a fitness unit, we're going to take a pre-assessment. We're going to try to gauge all of your understandings of some fitness concepts, so we know where you're at from here. You also may have noticed that this activity was taught just by myself with the videos and the recording. So this will be my last time recording with you all. You may see me in some videos later on, recorded by some of my classmates, some of the other teachers, but for now, this will be the last day with me. So one more thing for next class, we're going to be switching to a cardiovascular endurance focus. So here are some things you're going to need. You're going to need a coin. We're going to flip a coin in one of the activities, a timer, some loose fitting clothing, and athletic shoes. This will be taught by Miss Graham. So for now, this is Mr. Hruz signing off. It's been great working with you all. And actually, one more thing. Sorry. Going back to this assessment slide, you have on the left, we have the Google Forms pre-assessment. I ask that you please complete this one first. So the first activity, or the first question, I should say, for the Google Forms assessment is, it just asks your name and your birthday, because for Flipgrid, you need a username. So I'm just going to make your username your birthday. So it'll ask what your name is. So I would put Mr. Hruz, and my birthday is April 18th, 2001. And I have in the format, so it would be 04/18/2001. And so then when I would go into Flipgrid, I would just log in and I would put 04/18/2001. And that's how I would log in when you scan this code on the right. All right, and like I said, that's all I got for you today. It's been great working with you, and take care.